Alright, so this story is a crazy one, and if it's accurate to the title of this story, then there's going to be a lot of explaining to do. Or maybe not. Maybe America has just actually gotten this bad. But what a story for us to cover for the start of Pride Month, let me just say. A Tennessee high schooler's diploma has supposedly been withheld after they came out as gay on social media. Why, other than homophobia, could this be the case? I remember years ago, I covered a story about a trans high school graduate who was not allowed to walk the stage to receive their diploma because they refused to wear the traditional, like, women's dress code for the event. And, you know, obviously he identified as a guy, he was a trans guy, and so he wore men's clothing and refused to let him walk the stage. This isn't like Florida or Tennessee or Texas, one of those right-wing states, you know, really red state. Refused to let him walk the stage unless he changed into women's clothing, right? And because of that, he refused to go up and get his diploma and was denied the ability to have that experience, all because they were trans. This story, I'm not gonna lie, it's reminding me a lot of that, and that story I just mentioned happened like 5 or so years ago. I'm surprised I remember it, but I don't know if there was ever any justice about that. Like, you say easy lawsuit, but I'm not sure if that's actually the case. That could be wrong. So let's find out more about this situation, as disgusting as it is. I'm sorry, but, you know, we're starting off Pride Month this year with a, well, pretty blatantly anti-Pride message from whoever is running this Tennessee high school. There's going to be a lot of explanation that's going to need to be had for this to make the slightest bit of sense.
High school senior came out as gay on social media, and following that, her Christian school is now withholding her diploma. The school
No fucking way, dude. Really? It's that cut and dry. It's actually that cut and dry. Just straight up, Christian high school refuses to give a gay student a diploma. They can just withhold a high school diploma from someone. If you don't get your diploma from the school, do you just not graduate high school? This has never been a concern for me, so I actually don't know if that's a problem or not. Like, if you never get your diploma, if you never get your, like, does that, I assume you still graduated high school, right? Like, your diploma can't actually be withheld from you in a way that actually affects whether or not you are considered having graduated high school, right? This is why Christian schools need to be shut down. Well, trust me, they're not getting shut down. They're about to get even more power under Trump. That's the terrifying thing. I think it was Betsy DeVos that was in charge of the Department of Education before. Now it's, well, the soon-to-be dismantled Department of Education is now led by, what's Linda McMahon, the wife of, literally the wife of Vince McMahon, the WWE guy. Your transcripts would still show that you completed the schooling? You would think so, right? Like, surely the school can't just say, oh, we decided that you don't graduate high school despite having done everything you need to do to graduate high school, because we just don't like you. Like, there's no way they can do that, right? Like, okay, so this is literally the same situation, more or less, as what I mentioned before, where the trans guy student refused to walk the stage in women's attire to get their diploma.
claims the student violated their social media policy. That student is now suing, claiming the school is violating their own policies.
A star athlete, Morgan Armstrong, is familiar.
Listen, I'm glad they're suing. I'm very glad they're suing. But of course they'd have some, like, social media posting policy that they would use to pigeonhole rules like this in. They always do this, right? The right loves to take advantage of the fact that, you know, they fearmonger. Don't you want there to be rules around what students can post online so we can take action if anything is problematic or a worry? And they'll make a big story about how you have to think of the children, but in reality they'll use that opportunity to pigeonhole a bunch of rules in that end up hurting children, like in this situation.
with the spotlight, but she knew posting these photos online would reveal just how harsh those lights can be.
It was nerve-wracking to post it because I knew everyone was going to have different opinions. Some would love it, some would hate it.
Not long after posting that she was gay, showing photos with her girlfriend, the senior at Tennessee Christian Preparatory School was called into the office along with her father.
I figured it was the social media post that I posted with my girlfriend.
The family says the school provided this letter referring to this, a private message Armstrong sent to friends asking for their support, writing,
So somehow this message leaked, and this is what they're really trying to claim was the main problem. Go like and comment on my post, guys, because if no one on my socials knew I was gay, then they sure as hell do now. So this is a big thing, TBH. Also, I'm kind of scared about the Facebook comments, because I have some ruthless Trump-supporting quote-unquote Jesus motherfuckers on there. So calling out chuds that will insult you and be hateful towards you for being gay, while simultaneously claiming that they love Jesus, them calling them out as hypocrites is somehow violating some sort of social media policy they made, I'm sure. Is that what they're going to use to justify this?
go like and comment on my post. I have some ruthless Trump-supporting Jesus MFs on there. The school wrote, Morgan posted on social media platforms such as Instagram a disparaging remark reflecting the people at Tennessee Christian. The comment reflected on the institution, faculty, staff, alumni, and students in the most negative way
Huge
possible.
stretch.
Armstrong says nowhere.
Massive fucking stretch. Morgan posted on social media platforms such as Instagram a disparaging remark reflecting the people at Tennessee Christian. The vulgar and disrespectful comment produced the wrong perception of who Tennessee Christian is and what we represent, Christ. The comment reflected on the institution, faculty, staff, alumni, and students in the most negative possible way. Due to this conduct, the following action will be taken by the school immediately.
Alumni and students.
This really does not make me miss being in school and having to, frankly, read or receive any letters like this. Or, God forbid, when they have a letter like this sent to your parent. Ugh.
In the most negative way possible. Armstrong says nowhere in the private message did she mention the school, and she was actually talking about a relative.
Morgan did not write anything about the school at any time. She didn't post anything about the school, and her private message.
Yeah, I didn't read it that way either. I assume they were talking about, like, their friends and family that follow them on social media, you know? Because it's kind of a meme that if you have, like, Facebook and you post something somewhat progressive, all your distant relatives and old friends and old roommates that are conservative are going to start freaking out in your replies. It's like, it's a well-known thing, and I'm pretty sure that's what she was referring to, right?
It was not about the school.
Still, the school suspended her, banning her from campus and graduation, holding her diploma until next month. And writing, if the slander continues, records of posts and messages will be forwarded to colleges.
I don't think most colleges would give a fuck, to be honest, but they're really doing everything they can to try and scare this kid into silence. Because remember, they're assuming that, more likely than not, these kids don't have the most fully, like, resourced and, you know, fully backing supportive families that can be like, yo, this is some bullshit. We're going to court over this. So a lot of this is worded in such a way as to just scare kids into compliance. I bet it works more often than it doesn't.
In universities.
I was shocked, and then I went to anger.
The district's policy on students using social media urges caution, saying their posts reflect the school community. Writing students can't write disparaging or harassing remarks about the school's community members. And there are tiers of punishment.
Which she didn't.
According to the lawsuit, a first-time social media violation should result in just 1 day of in-school suspension.
There may be people that will claim, look, this is a private Christian school. They set the rules, and you sign up for that when you pay tuition.
That's okay. Follow your own disciplinary policy, which the school did not do here.
On the day she was supposed to graduate, Armstrong and her family held a small protest, holding a graduation.
This is what it actually looks like for individuals to be targeted for their political beliefs. The right loves to make a big woe is me victim grab for sympathy whenever they have someone on one of their platforms that they really admire get banned, or if some public figure on the right or some neo-Nazi gets their bank account shut down because some bank doesn't want to work with them anymore. They'll play the victim and they'll say, this is censorship, this is people having their lives ruined over their political beliefs, this is cancel culture. Meanwhile, this is what that actually looks like. This is what the right plans to make the norm across America. The idea that you can have your high school diploma threatened away from you for daring to call out homophobia and be gay as a student. Now, keep in mind, Trump plans to make it more or less a crime for schools to require vaccinations. This is going to mean a lot of schools are going to have to shut down just for the safety of students. They just don't want to facilitate students dying. And so they're going to shut down, as the Department of Education also gets shut down, and we see far less funding to our universities. America's general level of education is about to drop massively, alongside with a directed, pinpointed attack on access to fundamental things like education for marginalized groups like gay and trans people, and frankly, it might just be anyone who's progressive leaning, right?
Graduation banner, even if she doesn't yet have a diploma.
I'm not really sure how they can legally threaten to withhold it because she speaks her truth.
I did call and repeatedly emailed the head of schools for Tennessee Christian Preparatory, which is located near Chattanooga, but they did not respond. The family's lawyer here in Nashville says Armstrong hasn't even been able to take her finals yet. The lawsuit seeks to allow Armstrong to finish her tests, get her diploma, and forbid the school from reaching out to colleges. We're going to let you know what happens. Lauren?
All right, Jeremy, thanks.
Man, this story is, like I said, kind of a bummer for day one of Pride Month, but I'm curious to see what the comments are saying. Hilarious how the school is so concerned about their reputation, when the great irony here is that if they had just given her the diploma, along with everyone else, and not mention anything, no one would be talking about how ridiculously horrible of a school they are right now. We're living in crazy times if a diploma can be withheld for someone's sexuality. The fact that the school threatened to slander her to other colleges and universities is absolutely mind-blowing. That by itself should have been a big enough lawsuit. The whole situation is absolutely disgusting, and the irony is that she did not bring bad attention to the school. The school brought bad attention to itself. Yeah, they literally Streisand affected themselves. For those that don't know, there was this paparazzi, or this professional photographer, who took 1 million photos of the Venice Beach area in LA, north of LA, decades ago, and posted them onto his website. And it was just meant to be for his portfolio, to show some cool photos he'd taken. They were from a helicopter too, high quality photos. One of these photos contained, one of hundreds, thousands of houses photographed, mind you, contained an unlabeled, completely you would have no idea, but it was a picture of Barbara Streisand's house. And no one would have known, no one did know, but Barbara Streisand knew, and thought that this meant everyone did now. She basically cried dox. She claimed that she was doxed, and made a massive deal out of it. It was all over the news. She took this guy to court, tried to destroy his life and take him for everything he owned. She was ruthless trying to get this photo taken down. And before she'd done any of this, no one knew or would have ever known that was a photo of her house. But then she made such a massive deal out of literally nothing. She made such a mountain out of a molehill, everyone had to pay attention. And then everyone knew where she lived because she kept drawing attention to it. I think the school very much pulled a Barbra Streisand here, I gotta say. This is one of the most obvious reasons to sue a school I've ever seen, withholding a diploma that was properly earned. Take them for everything they've got. She didn't mention the school, nor was she even referring to it. If the school is so worried about their reputation, this ain't helping. Another reason why private schools should never receive taxpayer money, despite the fact they're about to receive all the taxpayer money. That is a big part of Trump's campaign and his policy goals, is that we're basically only going to have a private school system. There's not going to be a public school system anymore by the end of these 4 years if Trump gets what he wants. Or at least, if Trump does what he promised. Oh, fucking hell no? Oh, fucking hell yeah, it's happening, Mike VG. Trump has already bragged that he plans to make it more or less illegal for schools, public schools, to require students to get vaccinated. That alone is going to cut away a massive swath of public schools from existence the second that policy passes. We are fucked? No, we're not. The worse things get, the more people have to wake up and realize, oh shit, the left was not just they weren't crying wolf. A lot of people think the left cried wolf about Trump, and they need to realize that there was a wolf. There was a wolf all along. And sometimes it takes getting your dick and balls ripped off by the wolf to realize, oh shit, no, it's real. All right, no, they weren't crying wolf after all. This is why I'm a Californian nationalist. Well, good luck with all of that Californian nationalism, I guess. You know, hopefully you guys get to be your own country. You know, I'm out there rooting for the NCR, I promise. Anyway, guys, if you enjoyed this segment, if you found it enjoyable, educational, or entertaining in any way, and you want to support my channel and help me get seen by more people, then please consider leaving a like and a comment. Likes and comments, especially if you do both, are the best way to support my channel and the algorithm, and it's totally free and only takes a second. If you don't know what to comment, then why not comment just Happy Pride Month? You know, a little bit of positivity in the comments after all this negativity. Happy Pride Month in the comments if you want to let me know you watched this far. It also really helps the channel, so I appreciate it. And of course, be sure to subscribe and ring the bell icon to turn on all notifications if you want YouTube to tell you when I go live or upload new videos in the future. And of course, if you want to see more from me on other platforms, you can always follow my social medias, linked down below in the description. Particularly my fan Discord, I recommend you join. It's the main hub of my community and my fan base, and if you haven't already joined, you're missing out. I host gaming events, call-in streams, watch parties, and/or movie nights there every week, including tonight, where we'll be hosting a Baki watch party while I work out in my Discord. I hope to see you guys there, of course. And finally, if you want to support me directly, financially, help me keep the lights on and a roof above my head here at the Xander Hall studio, I really appreciate it if you guys donate, subscribe, or gift a sub to someone else on my website, xanderhall.com/live, or support me through YouTube, Twitch, Streamlabs, Stream Elements, Patreon, or buy some custom Xander Hall merch through the Streamlabs link down below. Regardless of how you support me, though, thank you so much for watching, as always, and have a good one.